see this news today that about 2 years from now, we're going to witness a total solar eclipse go across Texas. God willing, we make it that far, or World War III doesn't happen. But I thought that was kind of cool. That's the one where the sun will be blocked out for. It'll be like darkness during the day. I think that happened once when we were probably children or teenagers, maybe. It's been a while.
That's cool.
It is cool, man. It's science, man. Science is cool, and it's going to go. Texas is going to get the most of it, and then it's going to finish like in Maine on the northeast. But there are parts of the United States where it won't get as dark, but like most of Texas will get some total darkness that day in a couple years from now. And I like shit like that, man. I think science stuff like that's pretty cool. So,
yeah. That planetary alignment stuff.
Yeah, it's pretty neat.
Yeah.
I thought we were under an eternal eclipse considering all the smog we're living through.
Well, that's big city problems long, okay? And,
Yarp.
But we can't do anything about that unless everybody goes electric, but that's probably not going to happen. So, not for a while anyway. Or you get people
horses.
like Matt with their Yukons and their big muffler things that make a lot of noise and spew out smoke and cause emissions problems. So, we'll blame Matt on this one.
I hope my vehicle ain't smoking. It's not supposed to.
It's kind of funny.
I'm blaming Matt for
back when horse-drawn carriages were popular. There was a huge pollution problem with animal waste. But so when they upgraded from horses to buggies, it's less pollutive. So
basically, you're saying there's less horse shit everywhere.
Yeah, but there was a serious environmental issue back then with horse waste. So
maybe, well, that's a bunch of horse shit.
We did have a politician in the past 5 years reference cow farts as something that needed to be regulated. So there could be something there. These cows are farting everywhere, man. We got to regulate it, certainly the environment.
Yeah, I've been hearing about that for 30 plus years, man. It's nothing new.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't personally
go around, turn them into burgers.
I don't personally go around smelling cow farts, but sure. But anyway, this is the Rebel Radio Podcast. This is Mark.
This is Matt.
This is Long.
And thank you all for tuning in. And we hope you can escape with us for a little bit as we discuss a movie today that my fellow co-hosts appreciate a lot more than I do, but we'll get into that in a minute. But how are you fellas doing this weekend? Or this week? Y'all doing all right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a good week.
Yeah.
It's been a busy week.
Until next week, that is.
Yep.
Yeah. What, Easter?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Easter's not that bad in the grocery business. It's all right. Excuse me.
Yeah.
It's a little busier, but it's not like Christmas or anything like that. So it's all good.
Well, Memorial Day's the next big one, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Memorial Day is a little busier. Memorial Day is a little busier than Easter because, like, Easter, not everyone celebrates, so it's not always as big. Where the other holidays, most people all celebrate. So
yeah, we got three mini holidays before then.
Rest in peace to the Krogers next to St. Thomas University, right?
Oh, yeah.
A predominantly Catholic area.
Oh.
They'll be selling a lot of Easter eggs.
A lot of Easter dinner type stuff over there.
Mm-hmm. They're going to come, they're going to, we have a rabbi coming to the plant to bless the Coke. I get to see it. It's going to be cool.
Oh, yeah.
That's kind of,
I thought it was cool because there's a rabbi in this movie.
Yep. Oddly specific. Why a rabbi, not a...
Yeah, exactly.
Because rabbi, pretty fly for a rabbi. I mean, they're more potent in, pop culture.
But why a rabbi and not a Christian preacher? Not that I am, against it, but it's oddly specific.
we have kosher Coke. It's if you've ever been to the supermarkets and you see like around this time around Passover, and you see yellow tipped Coke bottles. That's kosher Coke. It's been blessed by a rabbi, and that's all it is.
So does that mean the Coke that me and Mark have been drinking is a pig product or something?
It is definitely non-kosher. I think. Okay. Yeah, I don't think there's any pig product in there.
In all my years in the grocery business, I've never seen a yellow tip Coke. But I believe you.
Well,
I guess maybe they only sell it in certain areas of town.
Yeah, primarily before it was like the more on the south side of the town.
I'm with Long though. I'm pretty pissed off that my Coke all these years hasn't been kosher. Fuck Coca-Cola. I'll go back. I'll drink Dr. Pepper exclusively.
I'm going to go back to the bountiful bosoms of Pepsi.
Bosoms of Pepsi.
Damn it! I really feel let down here. I'm disappointed.
You're let down.
I'm disappointed. Yeah, I mean, anyway, so we must move on so I don't get more upset. But I've been good too. Yeah. Just kind of a busy week. Baseball for my middle and work and stuff. But at the same time, I've gotten things done, so that's good. Was able to watch some stuff this week. Well, a couple things. But we can get into that. Download this where we tell people we watched, streamed, maybe played this week and checked out. One of you guys want to go first? It's fine with me.
I didn't do jack shit. Well, wait a minute. That's not true. I started watching the first 5 minutes of Moon Knight. Thought it was the stupidest thing I've ever watched and turned it off. No, I'm joking. I only watched the first 5 or 10 minutes, so it's I haven't really passed judgment on it yet. And then season premiere of a couple of anime shows that I've been looking forward to for the past year and a half since COVID started that were delayed. One of them is called the Shield Hero, and second season of that. It's a pretty good, very good anime. So, anyways, that's about it.
Nice. That was hilarious. I thought you were going to come out like just savage and just rip Moon Knight to shreds or something. Yeah. I was waiting for it. That was pretty darn funny. Caught me off guard. I didn't. Man, I tried watching the second episode, and I forget why I wasn't able to watch it. Got interrupted somehow, but I watched like the first 5 minutes of the second episode, and we have to watch the rest sometime. And then I just played a lot of Battlefront 2 Supremacy. I hadn't played it in a while, and I was like, you know what? I want to play one of my clone troopers and fight other clones. Just filling some Star Wars stuff. And I was like, there hasn't been a.
I just thought of a really stupid thing about Moon Knight just now. You guys want to hear it?
Let's do it. Do it.
So Moon Knight, his whole costume, he's dressed in white, right?
Yeah.
So he kind of looks like a ghost. It's like, I hope they don't show him beating up like black criminals and stuff like that, because that would send a really bad message. KKK and all. The white robes and stuff.
I have been seeing memes come out every week. So the memes have been pretty brutal too sometimes.
Oh, what were the memes about? Was it about kind of what I was alluding to?
The first one was like Moon Knight at the museum, and it was like, they put Moon Knight over or they put Oscar Isaacs over Ben Stiller's picture, because you have at that museum, running from people in that first
the Holocaust Museum. Oh, you mean that of the museum? That's right.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
And like that movie franchise, and then this one, it was like they made some like sexual reference with the two different dressed Moon Knights. Is
I thought
was
you
like,
you meant that there were memes that were alluding to racial war or something like that.
no, just that
Oh,
ones have
okay.
been poking fun. So I feel like
Oh,
the
poking
internet.
in general fun.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
of course, is just always undefeated, and if there's anything like that, someone will definitely exploit it for a few laughs. But yeah,
Right.
Battlefront 2,
I
still a cool game.
I started this. It's funny because I have like 10 minutes left in the second episode of Moon Knight. I um kind of just didn't have time to finish those last 10 minutes today. Um, I like the show so far. The second episode definitely starts explaining some things. The first episode is ape shit crazy. You're not sure what's going on. The second episode starts to explain some stuff and it's starting to come together. Um, I really like it so far. I think I like it because it's so different than everything else we've gotten from Marvel so far. So I'm kind of enjoying it. And Oscar is really good in it. I mean, he's just legit really good. So I'll have to finish that before the third episode comes out on Wednesday. Other than that, I watched a couple more episodes of Yellowstone season 4, about halfway through it. Not its strongest season, but it's still good. It's still one of the best shows on television. And I took the kids today to see Sonic the Hedgehog 2. And it's fun, man. I mean, if you like the first one, you'll enjoy this one. It's just as much fun. It is kind of your prototypical sequel that why break what was already working, you just continue to do that. They definitely have a bigger budget this time. There's a lot more sonic effects. In fact, the human element in this second one is probably a little less involved, other than Jim Carrey's character, who's really good as always. There's a cool after credit scene, which it was funny because in the theater, all the kids in the theater shouted out the name of the character that appears in the after credit scene. It's like the kids know more about Sonic than the adults do. So it was kind of amusing for that to happen. It was literally all the kids, because my theater was pretty full today for the 2:30 showing, and all the kids shout out the character's name, and I thought that was pretty amusing. But it's a fun movie, I mean, there's a place for properties like this, that families can go see and enjoy, and no bad language and violence or anything like that. And the video game movie industry has been always rough. There's not really any solid, great video game movies, but I have to say Sonic and Sonic 2 might be taking the crown for the best video game movies made so far. I mean, they're highly entertaining and they're better than most of what's out there, Still haven't seen Uncharted, but eventually I'll get around to watching it. But yeah, I mean, Sonic, they're fun movies, and definitely going to probably be a third one. I know it was.
You're not missing much as far as Uncharted.
Yeah.
Whatever.
I know. I'll watch it just because I like the games, but I know I'm not missing much. But Sonic 2 was a lot of fun. Kids really enjoyed it. They were laughing, had a good time. And as dad, I enjoyed it too. It was entertaining. And I always liked seeing Jim Carrey on screen in roles that suit him. He's good in it.
Yeah.
He's Dr. Robotnik. And, I like silly Jim Carrey. I never bought that much into him as a serious actor. Like not that he's bad as a serious actor. I just like Jim being Jim, what he's good at,
Yeah.
Like I didn't dislike the Truman Show or The Majestic or some of those movies he made. They were good movies. It's just my preference of Jim is the Jim that's goofy and is letting loose and having fun making a movie. So,
and, The Majestic.
Yeah, that was a good movie.
Yeah.
Very kind of a hidden gem movie. A lot of people didn't see, but it's actually a really good movie. But yeah, I think that's about it. I mean, I've been so busy. I told you guys about the Switch a couple weeks ago, and I haven't had much time to sit down and get into Zelda. It sucks, and I want to. Just so busy. Once baseball season's over, I'll have a little more time. Wyatt's got a couple weeks of baseball left, and then playoffs, but so not too much longer. But that's okay. I enjoy watching him play baseball too, so it's all good. It's a good busy.
Right.
I will do it every day for those kids, and that's what matters. So. But
good man.
So that's kind of what I watched this week, and And I watched this feature film that we did. I'll introduce the film. I'll let one of you guys. I'm gonna let Long summarize this one. I think I'm gonna pick Long, but we continue our comedy month, and this week we watched Mel Brooks's Robin Hood Men in Tights. Long, summarize this movie.
Yeah, it's basically a spoof of the Robin Hood movies of classic old yore that starred Errol Flynn, and that's how I saw this movie. But the movie is basically of Robin of Locksley coming back from his Crusades and finds that merry old England has been taken over by King John and the Sheriff of Nottingham. And
Rottingham.
Rottingham. Was it Rottingham?
Yes.
Well,
Yep.
okay. I know I was kind of hearing it wrong. It's Rottingham, Nottingham.
Yeah.
Okay. But anyhow, but yeah, the movie just spoofs the whole Robin Hood medieval genre, and yeah, the plot is basically it's basic as far as its Robin Hood formula, but it ties all the jokes together. So yeah, starring Dave Chappelle in his first ever movie role, I believe, a couple years before the Nutty Professor role, and also stars really just Carrie Ellis and Amy Yasbeck. Man, she's hot still at that time. And Richard Jenny. Not Richard Jenny. What was his name?
No, Richard.
The one who played King John.
Harris, isn't it?
No, not Richard Harris. That's the old Irish actor.
Oh, yeah.
Gosh, he was so popular back
Lewis.
in the 90s.
Richard Lewis.
Yes,
Ooh.
Richard Lewis. And I forget the guy who played the Sheriff of Rottingham, but I recognize him in an old science fiction TV show back in the day.
Roger Rees. He hasn't been in a
Roger
whole...
Rees.
He passed away a couple years ago.
Yeah, but I thought it was kind of a goofy character, but he hammed it up pretty well as the Sheriff of Rottingham. So, anyways, Tracy Ullman's in it too, and Mel Brooks and Patrick Stewart's cameo, and but anyhow, that's Robin Hood. I mean, there's nothing more to say about the summary wise. It's
Right.
just a spoof of the whole medieval Robin Hood genre.
But with tights.
Yeah, with
And-
tights.
Well, I will say, because I don't want to derail the podcast, but I will say I'm glad y'all like this movie. I saw it once years ago, didn't think much of it. I watched it this week, and man, it's stupid. That's just my thoughts on it. I did like Richard Lewis. He's probably the only part of the movie I liked. Because if you watch him throughout the film, even when he's not front and center, watch his facial expressions. They are great. He is so there in the background, just making facial expressions, looks on his face. I will give Richard Lewis all the props in the world. He is really good in this movie. Well, everyone acting-wise is good. But Richard Lewis is probably the one part of the movie that made me laugh, just watching his face in the background. And so I'll give him credit. But overall, man, as a spoof, I have a hard time with spoofs anyways. Because they have to really just kind of pull me in. Like I didn't mind The Naked Gun, and I like Airplane, those kind of spoofs. But this one just, man, it falls so flat for me most of the time. I had a hard time laughing at anything in this. I found it more just kind of dumb than funny. And I usually like dumb, but this one just doesn't do it for me, guys. I hate to say it. I just didn't find this movie funny. Dave Chappelle's okay. It's kind of scaled down. Dave Chappelle, it's his first movie role. He's not given a whole lot to do than just say a few one-liners, if we're being honest. You know, it's kind of what he's given to do, and he kind of plays the this is kind of also a spoof on Robin Hood Prince of Thieves, which was very popular just a couple years before this. And he's kind of like, I guess he's supposed to be kind of a spoof of the Morgan Freeman character in that movie, in a way. But
Mm-hmm.
But the whole chastity belt gag was kind of just strange. I don't know. It was weird. And then Broomhilda's, I don't know. I think that's my problem. It's a collection of a bunch of really dumb jokes, and most of them just kind of fall flat for me. That's just my initial thoughts on this movie.
Matt.
Yeah, no, I remember seeing this movie whenever I was, shortly after it came out. I think I saw it, and as far as the Mel Brooks movies, man, this may be like my favorite or close second, as far as like the Mel Brooks films. I may put Blazing Saddles ahead of it. I don't know, but I think it's I grew up. Me and my cousin would watch Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves over and over and over again, and we just thought it was so cool, just the flaming arrows and stuff. And as I got older, I recognize some of the funny stuff, like Costner going in and out of accents. This movie kind of talks about that, and makes a joke about it, and then of course makes a joke about Duncan, has a running joke about a blind dude, stuff that you wouldn't be able to do today. And like, the Sheriff of Rottingham's got like dyslexia or something, and he just can't, he gets his words mixed up, and we're making jokes about that. So I definitely have an appreciation for films that, you can still enjoy today, even though the jokes are like, oh man, you can never get away with this nowadays.
I thought that one stupid joke where Robin Hood cut his saddle and he ended up hanging upside down.
Yeah.
And then the horse galloped away and he kept hitting the rocks. I was like, that's the dumbest thing. But I laughed so hard at that. It's like, because you hear his voice like, oh. But an idiot, just let go.
He so hams it up. He hams, like Mark said, he hams it up really good. And, in a hilarious Shakespearean kind of way.
Yeah.
But I mean, I enjoyed the film. Does it have as much of an effect on me as whenever I first saw it? Probably not. I usually view some comedies as trying to taking your fourth or fifth bite into a candy bar. At first it's just not going to be as sweet as the first time you bit into it, and I feel like it has just less of an effect on you every time you bite in. Just depending on what you're watching, I guess. But I still like it. I like all the, a lot of the jokes that are in here. Some of them are dumb, the Little John thing, alluding to whenever Little John couldn't swim and he just had to stand up.
That's so dumb.
But he's in he's in a puddle.
Oh. He looked like he was really panicking too. The way he was,
yeah, he's believable. Yeah, for sure. And but I like the duel right before that. They're just like trying to the sticks keep getting smaller. They're like, okay. You Long?
Well, my favorite Mel Brooks movie of all time is still Young Frankenstein. I still think that's a brilliant movie, brilliant comedy. You can't top that. That's one of my all-time favorite Mel Brooks. Second is probably Blazing Saddles for sure. Third one, probably this one. Third favorite Mel Brooks movie, but I haven't seen Silent Movie yet. I heard that was actually an underrated comedy.
I haven't seen that one either.
Yeah, it's like his spoof on 20s silent film genre.
Mm-hmm.
No spoken dialogue at all.
Yeah. Fatty Corpuscle.
Yeah. No, you mean Fatty Arbuckle?
Fatty Arbuckle. Yeah.
Sorry. What else is there? Spaceballs.
Yep.
But yeah, I mean, it's a good once in a while kind of watch. Still not up there with Naked Gun as far as comedy classics are concerned. I kind of like Dracula Dead and Loving It. That's a stupid one too. And really not much to say. As far as my favorite gags, you named all of my favorite gags in the film. Especially the running gag where the king's mole, Prince John's mole kept moving from scene to scene.
Yeah, that was freaking hilarious.
Yeah, it's never in the same spot.
It ends up on his forehead and stuff like that.
Yeah, small visual gags like that. Not much to say, really. You haven't seen it? Watch it.
I like the jackhammer part. Where he's trying to use the jackhammer to get the chastity belt off.
Yeah.
And she's like, "Ah!"
I love the training montage of the merry men.
Oh, yeah. They get beat by the friggin' dudes on fake horses with sticks.
Well, no, the one where they were handing the peasants the bowls for the first time.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
Like, one of them was strangling himself by accident. Another one, an arrow broke on him, and then that third, that moment where Robin Hood breaks the third wall. He looks at the audience, looks at the screen, looks at us it's like, really? Is this what I have to work with as far as the merry men? And he just like, huh. He just looks at the camera, and he's just like,
I like whenever he's singing to Maid Marian, and the merry men are sitting down and watching, and then he leans back and his sword is out.
Yeah.
And it looks like he's got a big old schlong. And
it was all right. It's predictable.
Yeah, right. Penis joke. We had to get one. In the film, and that one was done beautifully. I don't know if Carrie actually sang that. I don't think he did. But
no, none of the singing in this movie is any of the actors. They hired professional singers and dubbed them in.
Yeah. I like that one small joke where the abbot was walking through the courtyard, and then some dude who looks like Costello comes up and says, "Hey, Abbott!"
Oh, yeah. He's like, I hate that guy. Yeah.
Yeah. Every time I think about our governor, Greg Abbott, I want to do that.
Every time you see him rolling along.
Hey, Abbott!
Oh, man. Yeah, man. I the dance numbers, the singing numbers, I think this it all accounts to, all ends up as a, just, a fun little film to watch. And then Patrick Stewart, just, hilarious at the end. He's like, I must kiss the bride. And, I guess instead of prima nocta, and he just like friggin', tongue kisses Marian.
Yeah.
Yep. And so it was cool seeing. And then he's like, all the toilets in the land shall be known as John's. And he's like, no. Yeah. He's like, put him in London Tower, make him part of the tour.
Yeah.
I thought that was funny. But yeah, man. Looking at his other films, I feel like Spaceballs had the cast to, kind of, just be like the best of the films. But I know, we were talking before the show started, and I do feel like Spaceballs is kind of the short straw as far as all the films. Surprisingly, I mean, man, whenever I was growing up, those jokes were hilarious. When I was in Boy Scouts, we would talk about the dark helmet and the Schwartz. Your Schwartz is as big as mine, and I feel like there's some good stuff in there still, but I don't think it's as good as Men in Tights or Young Frankenstein or Blazing Saddles. Not that it's bad, but I just feel like there was a time that it was in its prime, and it's not And I like your I would put Young Frankenstein higher, I guess, but I've only seen it once. Maybe I need to watch it again.
Frankenstein.
Yeah. Wasn't your limp on the other side? I remember the Igor's
Hump.
Hump.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, yes, I guess I need to watch it. I'm too far removed from it. I remember the Walk This Way. I had a friend that he would make that reference. He'd stop and be like, "Walk this way." Young Frankenstein.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. Robin Hood Men in Tights, dance numbers, Carrie Ells doing Carrie Ells, and some good jokes. And Patrick Stewart. We got Professor Xavier. Good stuff, man.
I guess. I don't think it's that good.
I'll give it a B. B minus. B minus kind of area.
I give it a B minus.
Yeah.
I enjoyed watching The Last Action Hero more than I enjoyed watching this. That says a lot. Because The Last Action Hero.
The Last Action Hero is an A for you.
Huh? No.
Hamlet.
It's not an A.
Hamlet.
No. Because this movie is not even
There's
a B.
a new man in Denmark, and Hamlet's taking out the trash.
I'll give Robin Hood Men in Tights like a D. I think it's stupid. Like,
You're going to give it the D?
No.
Oh, okay.
A D. There's a couple moments that were like snicker, kind of okay. Carrie Ellis is good in it, but I mean, he's kind of playing the same character he played in Princess Bride in some ways, only a little bit, maybe even scaled down from Wesley some. So it's not like he hasn't done that before. But overall, this movie's just, I don't know, guys. Sorry. This might be one of the worst things y'all have ever made me sit through and watch. It was pretty bad in my mind. Just doesn't hold up well. I can see how 16-year-old me might have liked this back in the day, but now watching it, I'm just like, this is pretty stupid. But that's okay. Next week's movie is legitimately funny. That one will be more fun. But we'll talk about that in a little while.
I hope you don't put Young Frankenstein at that same level.
I've never seen Young Frankenstein. So,
you've never seen Young Frankenstein?
Nope. I've only seen parts of Blazing Saddles. I'm not really a spoof movie guy. I don't, I like more just straight up standard comedies. I just think spoofs I don't know. You guys know I hate Tropic Thunder. I can't stand that movie. And it's kind of a spoof. Not my thing. I don't really like satire. I really don't like spoof that much. I have a hard time understanding the comedy of why it's funny to make fun of Kevin Costner's accent, which if you ever read on that, a lot of that was Costner's talked about. The producers were rushing the film because the film was already high in budget. So he didn't really have time to learn the dialects properly. Then people wanted to make fun of him for it because he goes in and out of it. But, it wasn't really all his fault. So, So I guess that's a funny joke. I don't know. The Little John thing in the water, that was stupid too. It's maybe funny for 5 seconds, but when then it goes on for a minute, I'm like, okay, this is dumb. Get your big ass up out of a little puddle of water. That's just, I don't know. It's just me. And I think some of it too, like the Naked Gun, for instance, Leslie Nielsen is one of those guys that's great at physical comedy. So he's funny. And I think that maybe some of that's missing in this. This to me, other than Richard Harris, or not, did I say Richard Harris again? Richard Lewis.
Yeah.
Richard Lewis is really good with his face and his physical comedy. That's why he was funny in the background. But no one else in this movie really does that. So I think that's maybe some of it too. The comedy's not conveyed for me well enough to make me laugh, if that makes sense. So I think a lot of comedy sometimes is physical ability to pull off that comedy. And, and sometimes it's not just dropping a dry humor. There's a lot of dry humor jokes in this. Like the Abbott and Costello joke. That was a funny joke, but it's kind of dry. Takes you a second to catch it, So, I don't know. Long seems very disappointed that I don't like this movie that much.
No, I'm not surprised. Let's move on.
Yeah.
Fine.
A duel.
Well, I guess that's what's next. Duel of the Nerds.
Yes.
Which I don't even know what I'm even talking about. Honestly,
You're talking about Kevin Costner as Robin Hood.
Well, you lost last week, so I'll let you introduce it.
Yeah. So this week on Duel of the Nerds, Mark with Kevin Costner, the man who took a shower with his ass out, and Long, Carrie Ells, the man who wore a mask and won a princess's heart in another movie, comes on to wear tights in this movie. Carrie Ells. Robin Hoods dueling it out, shooting arrows at each other. Carrie Ells, Eloise.
I think it's pronounced Eloise.
One of those. We know him. You may know him as Jerry from, Liar Liar. He didn't do the claw as well as...
Thank you, Matt. You have successfully debated my position just now. So it's your turn now, Matt. Mark.
That better not be your argument.
I'm yielding my winning status and letting Long go first anyway. So
yeah.
Okay. Thanks.
When you start, I'll start.
I don't understand why is this a debate. Honestly, so a comedic take of Robin Hood versus an aspiring, not inspiring, but an aspiring take of Robin Hood who's trying to be serious but didn't have enough time to do it. Unlike God, I can't believe I'm doing this. Unlike Kevin Costner's Robin Hood, Carrie Ells' Robin Hood could speak with an English accent. There you go. What's there that needs to be said?
There's more. There's more. Come on, Long. Dig deeper. Just reach into your pocket. Grab that.
Yes. Carrie Ells is a blonder Robin Hood than Kevin Costner's blonde Robin Hood. Let's see. His Robin Hood outfit's greener. Yes, a lot greener than Kevin Costner's leathery, rawhide Robin Hood, and it's greener, much greener, so he could blend in with the forest much easier. And he's wearing tights, which are very silent and stealthy for Carrie Ells' Robin Hood, and his Maid Marian is pretty damn hot, I have to say, compared to whoever it was that was Prince of Thieves' Maid Marian. Who was it? I don't remember.
It was a woman.
Yeah. It doesn't matter. And he can fence very well, based on his performance in The Princess Bride. And yeah, I like him. I yield the floor now, Mark. I'm dying out here.
Yeah. I mean, I thought that no way I'm going to win this today, but now you kind of just handed it to me on a spoon in some ways. Which, Kevin Costner's Robin Hood, first off, Costner took this role after Carrie Ells wasn't even brave enough to take it. A lot of people don't know that. He actually turned it down after having done The Princess Bride, and he felt that he didn't want to do another movie like that. So he wasn't even good enough to play Robin Hood at that point. So Costner was like, I'll take the role. And he goes up against the great Alan Rickman, who Ells goes up against a couple of quacks that are just kind of dumb. At least Costner had to go up against a tough Alan Rickman. And forgive him for the accent. This is a guy went on to win an Oscar for Dances with Wolves, has made some other great films in his time, and he doesn't need to worry about accents because he's became a great director and he's one of our all-time great actors. He doesn't need tights either. He just wears what they wore back then, which was, wool and leather outfits, and and That's all he needed. He shoots flaming bows. There's no training montage in his movie because he doesn't need it because he's already Robin Hood. And he's got the great Morgan Freeman at his side, which says a lot. Carrie Yule's got some quack job named Dave Chappelle. Nobody knew who he was at the time. So you can't base that on now Dave Chappelle. This was some guy back then that
I didn't base anything on him.
I'm just saying he was the token black guy they put in the movie back then. That's it, not the great Morgan Freeman that Costner had to work with. He also had Christian Slater. He had great sidekicks at his side. This was Christian Slater in the prime of his career. But Costner brought a maturity to the role of Robin Hood, and he had Mary Elizabeth Mastriani, I don't know how you say her last name, played his Maid Marian. And for her time, she was good looking Maid Marian for his time, so we'll give her credit.
Oh, and that was her. Yeah.
Sean Connery paid his fucking king, the great Sean Connery. And I love Patrick Stewart too, but I think I got to give the edge to Sean Connery a little bit. Dude was James Bond, so there's a lot to be said. And Prince of Thieves also had a huge hit song from Bryan Adams. Everything I do it for you. Everybody knows that song. Your Robin Hood had some weird rap song that made no sense in the middle of the movie. It was strange. And then they sung like a bunch of gay married guys with their Men in Tights song. You don't see Costner bounce around singing. He's just kicking ass, being Robin Hood.
Mark the homophobe.
That's all that matters. That was no homophobic statement. That's what I made. I said gay isn't happy. You just made an assumption, man.
Okay.
Now you're attacking me in Duel of the Nerds. I said gay men in tights. It's happy men in tights. Happy men in tights, not gay isn't gay. Okay. Damn, man. Costner would never attack someone like that. Oh, That's all I got.
Long, your rebuttal.
Ass.
He called you an ass. He called you an ass.
Pass. I said pass.
He called you an ass again.
Don't put words in my mouth, dude. Pass.
You're lucky I don't put something else in your mouth. Call them names again. I want to hear you. No, I'm just messing. It was a joke. Don't look at me like that. I feel
I'm not looking at you. I'm just looking at porn on my other window here.
Oh, okay. This explains why this debate has gone worse.
I guess my rebuttal is that Robin Hood Prince of Thieves was a huge hit. Second highest grossing movie of that year behind Terminator 2. In fact, there was a time
there was nothing else.
They wanted Costner to come back for a sequel, but he felt there was no need to do a sequel. And in some ways, he's right. I think Prince of Thieves stood on its own as its own movie. And I don't know, that's all, man. He's Kevin Costner. Directed by Kevin Reynolds, So I don't know what else to say about this topic. I mean, they both basically played the same character. One serious, one stupid.
Man, Long, I felt like you were going to bring out the fact that Kevin Costner had to use a butt double and stuff. And
yeah, I didn't research it, so I guess thank you, Matt, for researching that specific fact. Oddly specific fact.
Even though Long felt like he personally just threw this match, I felt like he made some good points, Mark. And I'm having trouble, deciding who actually.
Oh, come on!
Oh my God!
Just kidding, Mark. You
greener uniform.
Yeah,
is a very sterling
blonde hair, greener uniform. I look
tighter tights.
He made tighter tights. He made this a really, really close match, but.
No, he didn't. Stop licking his ball sack, man.
You're just a few inches. Just
hey,
maybe
I'm
like
a paying customer now.
Yeah,
he better be nice.
Yeah.
Oh, see, I see how that is. All right.
Yeah, Mark, you have won, but just barely. I mean, long
barely.
Was
come on, I was trying to throw the match. How could it be barely?
It fooled me. I mean, Long had to cut
I'm
his
more disappointed.
for you to
I'm
have
more
a
disappointed that last week Long challenged you Long challenged you to pick a good topic, and you couldn't have been more fucking predictable. It's like, Matt, I love you, brother. You know that. But, man, you are one of my most predictable friends on the planet. I know. I can read you like a book, homie. It's like,
I'm not changing for nobody. I'm going to stay being predictable.
It's okay to be predictable, but it's just like, whenever you texted us the topic, I'm like, I just knew it. I mean, it's just like.
You know what I almost did?
It doesn't have to relate. It doesn't have to relate to that week's film. It's okay to go outside the box.
I almost picked summer versus winter. I almost did that. Almost did it.
That's so broad, though.
Yeah, it is. But I know you like broads, so.
Because there's good things about every season, so. Anyway, now the challenge is up to Long for next week.
Long will pick the topic. A little bit rabbits versus fish, carrots versus apples. Who knows? It's Long in the decision chair.
Hey,
I think my topics have been entertaining.
His hamburger pizza one was fun.
They are. I liked it. I it was fresh. It's fresh. It's a good way to describe Long. And merciful.
Man, I remember, Matt, you came out swinging the first part of that,
I did, man.
How pizza went versatile, and then you just went off the rails there.
I did, man. Movie
culture
references, maybe. I had no rebuttal.
Not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for like culinary badassery, not pop cultural badassery. But
yeah, true.
I should be more specific next time on my topic.
That's all good. Hey, these are for fun.
Keep you on the rails.
Yeah.
It's fun. I'm enjoying this new segment. Not just because I'm kicking y'all's asses with like 6 victories already. It is fun. It's fun. I like it. So, all right, let's do some news. Man, Ezra Miller is sure causing some trouble for Warner Brothers. Gets arrested in Hawaii, getting in fights with cops. Apparently, there were 10 calls to his residency in the last few weeks in Hawaii. There were rumors was swirling this week that Warner Brothers was going to reshoot most of the Flash. I don't think they are, but it's a PR nightmare.
Replace him with Grant Gustin,
Well, that's been a fan thing, but these guys, they're in a place to be very famous, very popular. Like, stay out of trouble, man. It's just like you have one of the most anticipated films of 2023 in the books, and don't fuck it up. I don't know. It's kind of bizarre. Some people do this. Obviously Warner Brothers is not going to spend that kind of money to reshoot the film, but it sure is causing them a PR nightmare.
Yeah, the other week was the Oscar slap, and now it's this Ezra Miller stuff. But you guys recall, he's always kind of been a very, very strange person.
Yes, he's had some issues.
Remember that one time, that viral video of him choking a fan?
Yeah. He's had issues before. Yes, sir.
Or hitting the fan.
These words about his breakdowns on the set of The Flash. There's been reports of that even on the set of the Fantastic Beasts films, about him having breakdowns and walking off set. So, his issues have followed him. So it's not like Warner Brothers wasn't aware of these things before they started shooting the movie. And it's going to be really interesting. If these things are going on, it's all going to come out eventually. Once they start doing press for the film, I can't imagine that Michael Keaton might not have something to say, and some of the other actors involved. So we'll see. Hopefully the film comes together and it's a good movie, and that's what's important. And hopefully Ezra Miller gets the help that he needs to straighten himself up. So as things,
it's a couple of really hardcore DC fans. They're even saying, because they they're big Ezra Miller fans, but after all this, I guess the straw broke the camel's back for them. There's like, you know what? Warner Brothers should just stop, tiptoeing and just replace the guy already. Yeah. And in reality, not very many people will care at all.
No,
it's just
you're right.
Ezra Miller.
I didn't love him.
Guy.
I didn't love him as the Flash, but I didn't hate him either in Justice League. So you're right. If he was replaced, it wouldn't bother me.
Go with the TV series Flash. He's been consistent.
Grant's
he has
fantastic.
charisma.
Yeah.
Yeah, and fans love him. So
Yeah.
give it to Grant, I'd say.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I haven't kept up with Flash after about the first 5 seasons, but he's wonderful in the role. So, we'll see what happens over the next few weeks as Warner Bros. Tries to control this. I thought this was cool news. I have not started Picard season 2 yet, but they announced it's only going to run 3 seasons, and they are going to reunite the Next Generation cast in season 3. That's pretty spectacular Star Trek news if you really think about it. That's a big deal. To give them one last swan song, so to speak, because Nemesis came. It was entertaining. It was a good movie, and then it just sort of stopped. Paramount after that had trouble doing another one. It felt like the Next Generation cast never got that proper send off, and so I guess they're going to get it in Picard season 3. So, that'll be cool.
Yeah,
nice.
Lock and Key is going to end after 3 seasons. Matt, I know you've watched that show. I tried to watch it. I couldn't get into it that much. But based on the popular comic book of the same name. And I guess it's cool that Netflix came out and announced this so that they can finish the story in 3 seasons. Because sometimes, they cancel these shows in like Altered Carbon, for instance, and we don't get the complete story.
Yeah.
So at least they announced that they're going to give Lock and Key a final season to finish the story. And, it's kind of been a new thing the last couple of years, audio drama podcasts. They've become a big thing and big productions. Marvel has several now, Wolverine and several. And DC signed a deal with Spotify, so they're gonna start having a DC audio dramas. And the first one is called Batman Unburied. And Winston Duke, who played M'Baka in the Black Panther film, is going to play Bruce Wayne Batman this. And it'll hit your podcast app on May 3rd. Yeah. I might check it out. I'm always good down for a cool Batman story, but it'll be out May 3rd on any of your podcast apps. So kind of neat. So we'll see where they go with that. That's all the news I had though this week. It was kind of a slow news week. So next week,
Terry announced his retirement from acting.
Well, he didn't officially announce his retirement. He said he's considering it. The new, if you got to read the articles, don't read the headlines. If you read the articles, Kerry says, I'm considering it. He goes, I think I've done enough, but he's not like officially retiring or anything. He's just saying, I'm thinking about it.
Okay.
So, yeah. And, he kind of said in the article, if something comes along I really want to do, I'll do it, but yeah, he's not like, he's not pursuing anything, but he's not officially retiring either. Yeah. So,
okay.
They already asked the Sonic producers about that too. If he does officially retire, are y'all going to recast him for Sonic 3, and they said no, we won't recast him. So because it's hard to replace him. But
yeah.
Well, our comedy, huh? No, go ahead.
No, I just said okay.
Our comedy run continues next week on the show with a movie that is genuinely very funny and actually did well enough to spawn a couple of sequels, and it's a good modern classic stoner comedy, and that is Harold and Kumar Go to White Castle.
Hey, there's your girlfriend. You actually gonna talk to her this time?
I sure got a lot of baggage.
Harold never got too far with the ladies.
The only girls who are interested in me are girls I have no interest in.
Kumar never got much respect.
What kind of name is that anyhow, huh? Kumar. What's up, like 5 O's or 2 U's?
But tonight,
In the next couple of hours, I expect both of us to be blitzed out of our skulls.
they're going on a trip
Get up, we're going to White Castle. We're starving.
they'll never remember.
I forgot my cell phone.
You want to run back and get it?
No, we've gone too far.
This summer,
Just thinking about those tender little White Castle burgers just makes me want to burn this mother down.
they're going to discover what they're made of.
Think you could help me with this?
Whoa, those aren't real. Yes, they are.
What they're up against.
Thank you. Come again.
And who they're dealing with.
Are you Neil Patrick Harris?
Yep. We've just been driving around looking for White Castle.
Forget White Castle. Let's go get some strippers.
Lap dance.
So you think this is just about the burgers, huh? It's about far more than that. This night is about the American dream.
Who wants some brownies?
New Line Cinema presents That Asian Guy from American Pie.
Did Neil Patrick Harris just steal my car?
Yes.
And That Indian Guy from Van Wilder.
Thank God I found you. We have an emergency.
Do you happen to know how to get to the White Castle?
Yeah.
But why?
From that white guy who directed
Dude, where's my car?
Where's his car, dude?
Thank you. Come again. Things are finally starting to go our way.
Harold and Kumar Go to White Castle.
Well, since we're all here, how about a foursome?
This one I will enjoy watching. I know because I've seen it several times. I know it's hilarious, and so it'll be fun, man. It's been a while since I've watched this one. I watched Harold and Kumar's Christmas over Christmas time back in the day a few months ago, and I think that one's it's probably the worst of the three, but it's still pretty funny. But this is the original of the films that they started with John Chow and I can't think of the other guy's name. Cal Penn, right?
Cal Penn.
Yeah, Cal Penn. His name was just escaping me. So that'll be fun to watch. I'm not sure if it's streaming anywhere or not. I have them on Blu-ray, so it doesn't matter for me. But if it is somewhere, check it out. You can probably rent it for cheap or watch it somewhere. So, yeah, that's next week on the show. But until then, continue to be safe out there. And we thank you, as always, for listening. The rebelradiopodcast.com is our official website. And this has been Mark.
This has been Matt.
This is Long.
Thanks for listening. Remember, as always, just go there and do it.